Hi guys, it's time for another movie review, and last night I saw The Raid 2. I was very lucky to be an unlimited customer with Cineworld, and they had an early preview showing of the movie. It's not officially out until the 11th of April in the UK, so I was very lucky to get the chance to go there at Cineworld and see the film. I'm a big fan of the first movie. I still have my steelbook here, and yeah, as soon as I saw that there was a chance to see this movie, I snapped it up. I went. I was also lucky when I went there to win a Raid 2 poster and a bag of Maltesers. I'm not really going to have the chance to eat the Maltesers myself. I really sort of stay off that type of food nowadays, but I'm sure my wife and daughter will enjoy them. I also want to apologise doing this review. As you can hear, I kind of sound funny. I'm a little bit under the weather today, but I still want to let you guys know what I thought of the movie. Now, I'm a big fan of the first movie. I absolutely love the fight choreography. I love the simplistic storyline. I thought that this movie, even though the fact it was subtitled, you didn't really need to follow the subtitles at all, really. You could have understood what was going on if they weren't there. It told a lot of the storyline through atmosphere, through the fights, through the characterization of how people acted and how the way they were, the way they carried themselves. You had a character in it, for instance, called Mad Dog, who was absolutely fantastic, who hardly uttered any words at all. And that's the thing about some action films. Sometimes the best characters hardly say anything. As I said, Raid, the first one, absolutely fantastic action movie. Really been looking forward to seeing the sequel. Finally came out, watched it last night. Did I think it was better than the first one? Well, the thing which is great about this director is he's actually wanted to not go over the same old ground. He could have, as with many other action films, basically had the story exactly the same as the first film, but maybe move it into a different area where he had to fight his way out of a shopping mall or fight his way out of a boat or something like that, which has been done many times before, and that's always been the mistake with Hollywood. The director of The Raid hasn't made that mistake. He's basically said, yes, I've got a sequel, I've got this hero Rama from the first movie, I want to now put him in a totally different situation. The storyline does, though, borrow a lot from mafia films, and very much it takes from other things like Infernal Affairs, where you've got someone going deep undercover and trying to root out corruption within the police force, and trying to expose the mafia and the territorial wars between different gangs. Now, with this, there is a lot more dialogue. There is a lot more getting to know who the characters are. There's plenty of action, of course. I think there's probably about the same amount of action as there was in the first film, but because he wants to go into a more of a characterization, more of a dialogue-heavy movie, he's had to, I think, add about an hour onto this film than what was on the previous movie. For me, that was the only little fault I found with this film, is that there were some scenes that just felt not needed to be there. There were certain scenes that I did feel were slightly unnecessary. There could have been things that were cut from it just to make the film a little bit tighter. I think overall, maybe taking about 15 minutes out of the film, it would have benefited from that. Maybe make even some of the fight scenes shorter, but what fight scenes you do see in this, once again with the first film, the fight scenes in this are so wonderfully choreographed. Some of them are so absurd, and some of them are so crazy and out there. You can't help but you enjoy every minute of most of these fights. And it's kind of funny, the reactions I was hearing in the cinema while we were watching the film. It was a lot of people were laughing through the movie while they were seeing these scenes. I think there's because the coup de grace and that was delivered on some of the characters, some of the brutality, and it is very brutal, this film, is so like in your face. You can't help but either react, like either wince, or you like laugh because you just can't believe how brutal it is. It's kind of a funny reaction to have because it is a very violent film. Very tense scenes, some scenes that didn't involve any violence whatsoever. It just sort of, the tone and feel to the film were very tense and very enjoyable scenes as well. I like the look of the film. I actually think there were certain times when I saw the film and I was getting a feel of Only God Forgives, and there was a lot of atmospheric shots. I love the also way when you're talking about the camera was working with the fight scenes, the way it was following certain fights, and the camera was panning around and following characters going through glass and things like that. It was absolutely fantastic. You were able to see the action, and there was no shaky cam. It was pretty much, you could see everything that was going on, and very entertaining. I pretty much, as I said, can't fault the film in many ways. Just needed to be that slightly shorter in its running time, I think. But overall, a fantastic action film. Still thoroughly enjoyed it. And for me, I think because it was a great story and had some great action, for me, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Not quite up there with the first one, because that movie has a rewatchability factor. I could put that on now and watch it again. This one, definitely, some of the fight scenes are absolutely fantastic, especially the last about 40 minutes in this sequel. It's absolutely breathtaking, some of the fight scenes in that. But with the storyline and the plotting and just a slight bloatiness to the storyline around it, I'm just going to unfortunately cut 0.5 star off what I was hoping to be a 5-star film. Please don't think that I am disappointed in this film. I can't recommend it enough, and I think most action fans are going to absolutely love it. So there you go, The Raid 2, 4.5 stars. I'll catch you later.